Hey, young girl. We are back with a new episode this week. I want to start by saying thank you to who all have been watching, listening, sharing, commenting on the podcast. It can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, the video version on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure you subscribe and check out Hey Young Girl, the podcast. Thank you. So today I want to talk about this documentary on Netflix that I've recently watched about Eddie Murphy. It was really good. So one of the things that really stood out to me was, you know, his definitive decision on who and what he wanted to be in his life. And it started from when he was a child. And, you know, as a child, you really are very imaginative and creative. And, you don't have all of these like boundaries set on you as of yet. And as a child, you really, it's like you can dream, you feel like you can do anything you want to do. So he was saying how he, would watch TV, and he always would say, like, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be on TV. And the only role model, which was something that he said that was very important, to see somebody else doing what he wanted to do, and, making it really big doing it. It just allowed him to see that it was possible for him as well. Back when he came out, there wasn't a lot of black people that were on TV, and one of the people that he looked up to was Richard Pryor. And so, that was very important that he had something or someone that he saw that had done it already. So that was a really key point as well, besides deciding on what do you want to do and then just focusing in on that. And he was just like, he knew there was no other job or anything else that he wanted to do. He was just focused in on that. The desire to be on TV was that strong that he manifested it into his life. And at first he was emulating, other comics. And he said until he was able to find his own voice and what he was wanting to do. So he would, go and do voices like Richard Pryor and, different people that were well known. And he would get laughs and things like that. And so eventually he was able to find his own voice and his own like blueprint of style of how he wanted to do his comedy act. He chose a field that he knew that he loved doing. Once he got out there and he started to do it, he enjoyed making people laugh. He knew that he had something that he wanted to share, and he wasn't above going to get the knowledge and putting himself out there, maybe getting heckled or criticized. He had that support system behind him. He had like the definitive thing that he said that he wanted to do. He had a role model that was doing it, and he wasn't scared or fearful of going after something that he wanted to do. And he knew with doing that, there may be some backlash or some criticism. And he decided that he wanted to do it anyway, so he kept going. And, as he, grew, got bigger and things like that, he also stated how he knew who he was, and, he knew what type of roles and things that he wanted to do. So he wasn't easily like swayed into a lot of things, overindulging or like, getting a part of some stuff that could easily tore him down. So he wasn't like in it, from what he was saying, to, be a part of the crowd, or, like for all the accolades and things like that. He was like sure of himself to the point where he didn't have to do certain things to get further in life, or he, remained humble and stayed on track with his health and, you know, and integrity and things like that. So he felt like those were the things that kept him, self preservation, in other words, for the long run. He also said how, at some point, he felt like he had become stagnant, and even though he had this longevity of work that he had done, one particular movie, he felt like people, just almost shunned him or say, oh, he falling off and things like that. And he was like, he said to a certain extent, shocked that people saw him in that way. And, he just, it made him, some people, it would have made you like, I don't know, revert into like isolation, or you don't want to show your face or whatever, because now they are giving you all this backlash and stuff. But for him, he took it as motivation to go ahead and show you, better than I can tell you, that I'm here to stay. So, and that's when he came out like with the clumps, where, he played all of these different roles, just challenging himself, in other words. He felt like he had become stagnant, and so a little criticism or critique from your peers, may have put a little fire. Sometimes you need that to, remind you and, what you have built, that you still got it, in other words. So he felt like a little motivation or a little critique helped him, to make him get back out there. He also was saying, like, as he grew and the times changed, he became a family man and things like that. He wasn't scared to pivot into other things. That's when he started doing the family movies and the voiceovers for cartoons and, stuff like that. Not afraid of reinventing yourself to create this longevity of a career for yourself. So I thought, that was awesome. Also, he had spoken about how he felt like back in the day he had burned bridges with a particular platform. He had stopped fooling with them completely and wanted to get more opportunities and get himself back out there. He reached back out to that particular platform, who was still thriving in the present day. And, he went back on, and he wasn't like thinking to himself, oh, I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm like so big in the game right now. He went in with an open mind with the scripts and things like that. And, just went all in, gave his best, and just did like a comedy from where he first originated. Like, he didn't feel like he was too big enough to, go back and repair a once great relationship, to know that it could propel him back out there again and get his face back out there and stuff like that. And it did. It did. It was very successful. He reunited with a couple of other artists, comedians, and it ended up being a good thing. So, all in all, if you hadn't seen the documentary on Eddie Murphy, it was a really good documentary, and it's great to see, one of the actors from the '80s, when he first came out and blew up, still having a strong career now in 2025, and just glad that Netflix, highlighted him in at that great way and showed the material and the catalog of this man from when he started to where he is now. And go check that out, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.